Welcome to Life by Design. This is where we help you to create the blueprint for the life you've always wanted for yourself, your family, and for those of us with even bigger perspective, it's also about our communities and about our nation. Sierra Leone, I'm Joe Abbas Bangura, and this is Life by Design. There's one message we've shared consistently on Life by Design that we want to be able to just echo again, even as we begin the year. It's always important for me we echo these things back to you, repeat them again and again. What's responsible for people for succeeding in life? It's down to fundamentally one thing: mindset, beliefs. People failures fail because they believe they are made to fail, and because they believe that, they act on the things that will get them to fail. And people who succeed just believe it's possible to succeed. And one act that leads to success reinforces those beliefs that they have and continue to do the things that keeps them succeeding. Failures don't believe they are made to succeed. And so what happens, they do the things they don't believe, and because they don't believe, they don't take enough action towards their goal, they fail, and it reinforces their belief that they were not made to succeed in life. That's why failures keep failing and people who succeed keep succeeding. It's down to beliefs. I had the privilege to share with kids at SOS. We share the message on belief, and there's one point I want for echo before they roll the tape, and that's its point is, human beings have the ability to take whatever situation, whatever has happened to them, they have the ability, the singular ability to take those events and either give the events a meaning that empowers them, or gives the event a meaning that empowers them. So we keep saying it's not the events of your life, it's the meaning you attach to those events. So as we roll the tape, we want to talk about two kind of beliefs that people have. You either have self-empowering beliefs or self-limiting beliefs. Which one you're going to choose for this year? If you hold self-empowering beliefs, you succeed in life. If you hold self-limiting beliefs, now you don't limit yourself. Let's roll the tape and I'll join you back. Good afternoon. How are we all doing? It's a pleasure being here today, and it's actually, I'm thrilled to have seen Lansana, but pleased to know that he was here, and I'm sure it paints a very strong picture for you to realize that we're not shaped by the events of our lives. So I've been asked to talk about achieving our dreams, having the right mindset, and the behavior. It's always about mindset and behavior. Now, those of you who've had me talk in the past have had me share my story. I wasn't that bad to the extent that, because the best support for anybody is their community. So my parents, I had a community to live in, so I had parents who could support me. But the rest of what goes on in the house in terms of their ability to support me, the fact that I would go to school without lunch, and that was routine. All I could have to go to school was, what you eat in the morning before you leave the house, and it would be what was left over in the previous evening. So we had parents, but the circumstances would be similar to people who would be struggling to have people to take care of them. We had the love, we had the care as much as they could, but that was the limit. We are not defined by our circumstances. And so why would somebody born to a very rich family ended up as a drug addict and wasting away, and somebody who's born to a very poor family end up being somebody who's renowned in the country? What role does background has to play? Ultimately, that's why I said the emphasis again, it's not about the background, it's your mindset. And what is it forms mindset? Is beliefs. What is that forms our mindset? Is belief. So that is why the point I want to be able to make today, echo this point. It's not the events of our lives. It's not the circumstances of our life that shape us. What is it that shapes us? Can you read that? Our beliefs. What's the belief? Again, our interpretation as to what those events mean. It is what? It is the meaning we attach to those events. So that's why I want to encourage you. It's not the events of our lives. Can we read that again? 2, 3, go.
But our beliefs, our interpretation as to what those events mean, is the meaning of
Can you read this? This is a very important point. Read this again. Some people are taking photos just now and take those photos or keep them. So take this, read this. Can you read this next one? Do we understand what that means? Are we sure? You know what this means? Who knows what it means? You are a smart guy, eh? So answer it again. I'd like to just interact with it. So what do you think this means to you?
So we are all capable of making any choice you want to make. Nobody can stop you what you want to become. But it depends on your mindsets, how you interpret those stuff that you have decided to work towards.
So let me help you with something. The catch is in they have the ability to take an experience of their lives and create a meaning. Again, I'm reinforcing the first point I made. It's not the events of your life. It's not the circumstances of your life. And the beauty is, what I'm saying to you is not only applicable to you, but it's going to be applicable to ultimately people who will be watching what I'm sharing. A human being have the capacity to take any event of their lives and give a meaning to them that either empowers or disempowers them. It's another dividing line. Let me explain again what that means. One of the worst that can happen to you is you've been born and says, I don't have parents to help me. That's why I'm here. That's the event. It's happened to two people. One man can say, well, you know what? Since it happened to me, there's no hope for me in this world. When somebody is under circumstances and say, well, there's no hope for me in this world, what do?
Procrastination starts.
They start. You don't even try. You know, you can tell everybody you already have an excuse. Now, why don't we get out? Now, we not get parents there. You don't try because you already told yourself, I'm helpless. I'm hopeless. Now, the same event, the same person can look at that event and say, you know what? He said what? He says louder.
Lie, me are the better man.
So what is it that make the difference for somebody to say, one person would say, well, me, and another person say, me, I go better man. What is it that drives that? It's a choice. What I want to do, I don't even care whether you talk or not, but just reflect. You have the ability, the same event. You could get up now and say, you know what, I'm going to change my life and I would make sure kids in my community don't have to go through this. It becomes a fuel. It becomes something that becomes an energy for you. And let me share this again. Now, in hindsight, I'm looking, if I had not gone through the things that I've gone through, I went through in my life, I would never have been this rounded a man. I would never have been this solid. I would never have been this resilient. I'm running in businesses where I face gravity and everything bouncing back at me. If I had not gone through a very difficult childhood, I would have given up by now. So I take the difficulty of my childhood and use it as a fuel. I am going to tell my story. This is not the end. You wait for me. So I'm interpreting the situation. It's tough, but there is hope tomorrow. So this intimates that there are two kinds of belief. There's self-limiting belief, there's self-empowering belief. Part of our life is programmed, like the fact that I was going to be born at Taylor Street and not born at in America or Spur Road. Did I vote? Did I have to vote for that? No, it was pre-programmed. You know, your parents are going to be, in fact, your parents are going to be literate. They will never duck in the face of a school. I did not have to vote. So part of your life is pre-programmed. But is that what determines ultimately what happens? The rest, after my birth, the rest had to be down to my choices. First of all, it was the choices my parents made. That in their abject poverty, they will still send this boy to school. They don't have anything, but they'll make sure he goes to school. Even if they don't have lunch to give him, they'll make sure they pay his school fee. It was the choice they made. And when it came to my turn to make choices for myself, I made different choices. So instead of just saying everything is the answer of God, it's laziness. You want to say, yes, part of our life is programmed, but there's a lot more that is down to our choices. Imagine people who have those two beliefs, how do you think they will end up in life? If there's somebody who thinks that without parents is hopeless, that's what they believe. And person who thinks this, who has a stronger chance of succeeding in life? Who has a stronger chance of succeeding? The guy with the complete truth. Between these two, who has a better chance of succeeding in life? In the right. So the person with the complete truth, that's the complete truth, half truth. You know, this is how I am. There's nothing I can do to change myself. That's what I turn. You've heard that? You've heard that? That's what I turn. This is how I am. This is how I was made. And nothing I can do. But so what's the complete truth? Most of our challenges are behavioral and not genetic. We have done it so long that we believe that's who we are. It's all habits. And these habits can be learned and unlearned and new habits learned. You understand what I'm trying to say? Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? I have made myself by the grace of God. I make myself one choice every day. Do not allow anybody to intimidate you. It's your choices. You shape your life every day. I shape my life every day. I have an idea where I want to be in the next 5 years. And I work on it every day. The people I bring around me, the decisions I take, the books I read, the things I spend my life on are all around where I want to be in the next 12 months. Am I talking to anybody? So let's wrap up now. So it's all things you say to yourself. Now, somebody says success in life is based on to the family that you were born into. Is that the complete truth? So what's the response to that? If you are born with to a family with significance, means it's not impossible to make it if you are not born to one. It's difficult, but not impossible. You have more hurdles to overcome, but it's not impossible. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Now, so the last question we have is the question we have there. Do you now understand why people holding these two different beliefs will end up differently in life? Do you now see? I started in the beginning. Ultimately, it's not our background, it's our belief system. And if people believe this different kind of camps and they don't change their mind, they become what they believe. They become what they believe. We truly become what we believe. It's my prayer for you that no matter what story you have as to what brought you here, your determination has to be, you either make sure you are so solid and robust and rich that you can become a local donor to SOS here. The least you can do is to make sure. You know, I don't know whether you have this issue of local donors, but the least you can do is to be able to make sure when you reach where you're going to, your ability to say, I want to support 5 children here because of what I benefited from. But it's possible. The only thing that would stop that is not down to nothing. It's down to you, your mindset, which would inform the action you will take next in your life. It's my prayer for you that the time we've spent the whole of the day today will not be wasted. Amen. Whatever challenges you are going through, be resilient. Be resilient. You may have made a wrong choice, a mistake, a foolish mistake before you arrived here today. It's not the end. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. But rise up, be resilient, fight on, because ultimately, it's the choices we make that will shape us and will determine where we end. Thank you very much. God bless you. Welcome back. If you believe they undermine your ability to succeed, there's no way you could advance in life. But when you have beliefs that empowers you, you wake up every day, you say, I'm never going to give up, I'm going to fight. That's why people who hold those two different views would end up completely different in life. Which one would you hold for 2020? But I hope it's my prayer for you that you would only entertain and tolerate a belief system for yourself that empowers you. Then we can create the life we've always wanted for ourselves, our family, and those of us with bigger perspective, not just for our community, but for our nation. Until we meet another edition of the show, I'm Joe Abbas Mandura. Let's fight on and have a glorious 2020. 2020. God bless you.